1, 2, 3, barbecue.
3 trials barbecue.
I was gonna say it.
Say 3 trials barbecue.
3 trials barbecue.
Say hi.
Hi.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to 3 Trials Barbecue. Today, what we're going to be doing is a holiday turkey. We're going to be working with this tender, juicy Jenny O's turkey. It's a 14-pounder. We're going to be running the Meat Church garlic and herb rub that I've been meaning to try, and we're going to be using some of this bird brine. The turkey is pre-brined. It's got about 9.5 solution. If it was a natural turkey, we would be brining overnight, but we're gonna be doing the 15-minute per pound method. Some turkeys are built better than others, or brined better than others, I should say. This one, I'm not too sure. I've never tried a Jenny O, but I wanna make it as good as can be. We're going to be running a little bit of compound butter between the breast and the skin. We're also going to be injecting it with butter and a little bit of this rub. We're going to try to get it through all angles to make it as good as can be. So let me go ahead and take this off. I have a little bit of boiling water. We're going to put in that bird brine, and we're going to try to dissolve it so all the herbs and everything in this brine can mesh. And we'll be right back. We have some of this warm water. I got some fresh thyme, sage, and rosemary. I'm just going to cut some in here. One gallon of water for this whole turkey. I got a little bit of water here that's boiled and warm. We're going to get this brine mix to dissolve and marry into something special here. And we'll use the rest of this stuff to make a compound butter later. So we'll add our bird brine. And it's a whole bag for one turkey. And we're gonna let it kind of dissolve. We'll put it to a boil. So, like I said, 1 bag per turkey, and it's gonna be about a gallon of water in that brine. Remember, the brines are usually heavy salt, right? We'll bring it back in a couple minutes once it's all said and done. We got it to a boil. We got it to mesh in there with the herbs, and I even added some garlic off camera. So we're gonna let this cool down. We're gonna grab that bird. I have some cold water in the fridge that we're gonna mix together. By the time this cools down, it'll be ready to put the bird in there. So I'll be right back. So I got the bird. Open it up. There's gonna be a couple things in here that we're gonna have to take out and we're not gonna use. I'll start with this. So inside, there's always going to be little packets. There's always going to be a little bit of ice in there. I've been thawing this one out for 3 days. Take that out. We're not going to be using this either. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set it up for the compound butter rub. So I'm going to run my fingers in between the skin and the breast. This will also help it brine between there. cut some of this extra skin. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a rinse, and we'll get it in that brine. So we're gonna get the turkey. We're gonna put it in this turkey bag. Okay. I got some super cold water right here. Let the herbs come in there. We're gonna add a little bit more water. Okay, that makes up the gallon. Let's see what it looks like. We're gonna want it pressed down. All right, I like that. We'll put this in the fridge for about 4 hours. Let it infuse all those flavors from the herbs, the garlic, and we'll be right back. We're gonna make some of that compound butter, and we'll make some injection. Okay, so we're gonna start making the compound butter. That's pretty simple. We're just gonna de-leaf most of this stuff. Okay, so I got the herbs all laid out. I'm gonna start chopping these up. So we got it diced up. Now we just gotta mix it up. A little sprinkle in there. We're gonna put a little sprinkle in here. So this is gonna be for our injection, and that's gonna be very simple. Stick of unsalted butter. I'll throw it in there, and in a couple hours when that turkey's done brining, we're just gonna melt this up and then inject it. So we're gonna put this aside. This is going to be our compound butter. Okay. Before I forget, I'm gonna take a teaspoon of a rub. And we're gonna put it into that injection mixture. So we'll put this aside. Now for the butter, or the compound butter. Take this butter, put it there, and we'll just mesh it up. All right, so for the butter, I was mixing it up, doing everything. I found it easier to just grab some gloves and just put it all together and squish it all up. So I'm gonna let this sit, put it in the fridge, and then about an hour before I'll take it back out so it could start softening back up. And then, yeah, we'll be back. All right, everyone, so we got 30 minutes left on that brine. We got some of that butter that we put together earlier, that compound butter. The injection is gonna be simple. It's gonna be some of that compound butter with a little bit of that meat church garlic rub. Uh, we're going to have to strain some of that stuff out. I already did one, but I want it as pure as I can get it so it doesn't mess up the needle. So that's our injection. Basically straightforward. Butter with some of those herbs when I brought it up to a simmer. The rest of that, I want the herbs in there. That's what we're gonna use to baste. So we're gonna leave that on low. For now, we have our compound butter mix. This is what we put together so we can rub in between that breast and the skin. And then for the cavity this time, I'm gonna keep it simple again. Celery, some garlic, and then some heads of garlic just cut in half so I can infuse the garlic from the inside. I want them to get herb and garlic inside, outside, on the skin, everything that they taste outside, I want them to taste throughout. So hopefully this helps us get that. So if anything, we'll just go outside right now and start preheating that Traeger. All right, so got it on. Today, of course, we're gonna be running with the lumberjack competition blend. Gives us maple, cherry, and hickory. Today, we're gonna be running the first hour and a half at 225. So let's get it up and rolling. Now we're about 30 minutes out, so I wanted to at least come and get up to temperature. Usually it takes about 10-15 minutes. You can see it's producing smoke already. So at this point, we'll let it get up to temp and let it do its thing. So we'll be back. It's been brining for 4 hours. We've had it in this bag with all the juices. You can see the herbs that I threw in there just to supplement some of that meat church brine. Didn't put anything too special on this other than just that poultry kit. So let's go ahead and just open it up and we'll start draining it because we have to clean it, rinse it, and pat it dry. I'm gonna take this to the sink. I'm going to drain this brine out and I will wash it, rinse it, like I said, and then we'll just pat it dry and then we'll start putting our compound butter in. Okay, so I got it rinsed, cleaned up. Obviously some of those herbs are gonna stay, but hopefully we took most of that salt away. The first thing I wanna do is pack this stuff inside this cavity. We'll start with the garlic. We'll throw a couple things of chopped celery, some garlic cloves, more celery, more garlic. Next thing I want to do is throw a little bit of the rub in there. Okay. Next thing I want to do is I want to tie up these turkey legs. So we got that all tied up. Now we're gonna take some of this compound butter. You can see it kind of tore up right here. I'm gonna try to fix that next, but I wanna fill this up with this butter. Once it's in there, you can massage it. And that butter is simply butter and the poultry herb mix. I didn't throw no seasoning, rub, or garlic in there. It's gonna have plenty of garlic. What I wanna do is just make sure that I have enough butter on top of this breast so my friends can have a nice juicy turkey. And the best thing about it is these friends of mine, they're the ones that hooked me up with the Traeger. And I'm asking for honest feedback on this turkey. And believe me, they're gonna give it to me. So I'm trying to do my best to make a good dinner for them. Throw the extra butter in there. And with this, since the skin kind of did pull back on this when I open this up, I'm gonna try to fix it. Close this up, stitch it up. So now that we got that skin fixed up, I'm gonna pat this down. All right, skin's fixed, patted down, dried. Now we're gonna start injecting just this butter into these areas. We've got the butter already in between the breast, but I wanna add some more juiciness. Okay, continuing with the drumstick, stick in. You'll see it plump up a little bit. Now we're gonna shoot the breast. All right, so we got it injected. We got the compound butter in there. We have it stuffed. Let's start with the bottom side of this turkey. And we're just gonna hit it up with a little bit of olive oil. We don't need too much. We're just gonna rub it down. And we're gonna start putting our rub on. And we're gonna do the bottom side first because it's the side that no one's really gonna see. This is a garlic and herb rub, so we're sticking to the profile that we went with today. Okay. We don't need too much. We just need a slight coat of it. This is the presentation side. So I'm trying to put a good, nice, even coat on it. Okay, so I know I said it was pretty good, but now it's good. Okay, now it's good. So that's our turkey. We're gonna let it sit for 10 minutes. I'm gonna go check out on that Traeger, and then I'll see you guys out there. All right, so I got the Traeger rolling. It's been heating up for almost 20-25 minutes or so. Got it rolling at 225. We're gonna hit the super smoke. So now we can roll smoke for real. We're gonna go ahead and put this on. And then we'll turn it around after we do the temperature increase. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more because I did touch it to tie up those little wings. So at this point, we'll be back in an hour, and we'll baste it with some of that butter that we put together. So we'll see you guys in an hour. All right, everyone. So it's been 1 hour. We've been rolling at 225. Doesn't look too bad. Let's give it a little baste here. And then we'll be back in 1 hour. And at that point, we'll flip it. But for now, we'll continue to go at 225 with super smoke. I'll let it kind of do its thing. See you guys in an hour. All right, everyone. So we've hit the 2 hour mark. A couple things we have to do is one, we have to baste it to start off with. Let's go ahead and do that. Skin is almost getting there. So another thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip it. And now I can baste this side. Another thing we're gonna do is we have to turn up the temperature now, and now we're gonna go to 325, and that should finish off the cook, and hopefully within an hour and a half, 2 hours. At 225, let's crank this bad boy up to 325, and that's gonna help us crispy up that skin, and it's also gonna help us seal all that moisture in, and we'll be back. We're at the 3 hour mark. We are now rolling at 325, and we're gonna go ahead and insert the probe, and we're gonna baste, and we'll see where we're at. So grab this probe. I'm gonna set the alarm to 160. For those that want your poultry medium rare. Okay. So we're gonna insert the probe, take it apart. Okay. And then so, and if it finishes before then, obviously we'll be back before then. So stay tuned, everyone. We're at the 4-hour mark. Let's take a look. It's definitely browning up. We're rolling at 325 still, and we are at 151 internal. So we're just gonna let it roll. We'll see you guys soon. All right, everyone. So we're exactly at 4.5 hours. It has reached 161, so we're assuming it's gonna carry over at this point. Let's take this bad boy out. Okay. Check our temperature. 161. Bell. Take these little boots off. So look at that, y'all. Delicious, smells great. Let's go inside. All right, everyone, so 4.5 hours later, we got our turkey finally complete. To sum up today's cook, we started off with a 4-hour brine with a bird bath from Meat Church. We stuffed it up with compound butter between the breast and the skin. We injected it with some of that compound butter that was filtered out into the breast, into the thighs, into the drumsticks. We then went ahead and rubbed it down with a little bit of olive oil, used it a little bit as a binder. We used the garlic and herb seasoning from Meat Church. Set up the Traeger Ironwood 885 at 225. We rolled smoke for 2 hours, basting it with that compound butter every hour. And at the second hour, we turned it up to 325 and we let it roll. It ended up finishing at 4.5 hours, and it smells delicious. It looks good. We're gonna get our feedback here probably in a couple hours when my friends have it for dinner. So we're gonna let it rest, and we're gonna take it to them. But thank you guys for joining. If you haven't hit them likes and subscribe, please do. We'll see you on the next one. We're just gonna go ahead and transfer it over to this aluminum foil and let it rest. It hit 161 internal, so at this point it should carry through to 165 by the time it gets to their house, and they don't live too far. So